I very welcome you to our webinar of ChronoHub, the time recording solution created, developed by Core Systems AG. My name is Raphael Hübner. I'm the head of general sales at Core Systems, and I'm very happy to have you here today to show you a little bit of the latest changes of the solution, but maybe also to give you in general insight about the time recording solution that we provide. Therefore, I prepared a little PowerPoint with only very few slides, and the agenda is pretty short, and I prefer to keep it short and lean when it is about the PowerPoint, just using 1-2 slides to really give you a broad idea about the solution so that we all have the same base to talk about, so that it's also understandable what I'm going to show next up, then in the third point, especially the demonstration. If there are any kind of questions, we are using here GoToWebinar, therefore I will see it in the chat where you have the possibility to raise questions, ask questions, and I'm happy to answer those by the end of the webinar. I guess we need here around 30 minutes. We booked 1 hour or blocked 1 hour of time to have enough time to don't be in rush or have to skip the Q&A part. So everything should be smoothly, hopefully. All right, then I suggest we get started, and let's start with my first slide, which is talking maybe a little bit about the challenges when thinking about the time tracking. And there I just have here a few bullet points that maybe especially now up to date when thinking here about the first bullet point, the European Union court mandate. So as I guess everybody knows, there is the regulation that comes from the European Union where all the members of the European Union have to implement a system for measuring the daily working hours of their employees. And yeah, this is of course especially something for smaller companies, which is not so easy. For bigger companies, it's I guess something that's already in place anyway to keep track when you have a lot of employees, but especially for smaller companies, that's something usually that's handled by Trust or maybe Excel or so. And therefore, we want to face this challenge by providing a solution that's very easy to use with a good UI, lean, not too big, not too complicated, but nevertheless fulfilling the requirements that are needed. This more or less lean directs us already to the second bullet point, the compliance challenges. So you have some local laws that you have to fulfill, regulations, how to document everything, and therefore you need some kind of possibility to provide this. Yeah, time tracking or time recording is always also administrative work, which is usually not the main work of a person in the company. You have actually some other tasks, some other job, but nevertheless, it belongs nevertheless to the work itself, so that you need to take a few minutes, hopefully only a few, to record your time, to fill in maybe when you were working or not, when did you have time off, holidays, and so on. And yeah, if you don't have a solution, then it can get very complicated. I mentioned already something like Excel, or maybe even still paper and pen and so on. And yeah, this is of course something that is actually frustrating for the employee if you have to do it this way. Then, of course, there's also the other point of view from company perspective, or maybe somebody in the management or the manager of the employee, where you feel like, okay, I need this overview of holidays, absences, working hours, and if you have it not in a specified system, it usually gets very difficult to keep the overview. And that makes it, of course, then hard for the employer or whoever is taking care of this, maybe HR or someone else. Also combined with this administrative process, then the last point of multiple logins. I think we all know it when we have in our private life a lot of different solutions that we are using. Is it maybe streaming providers, bank accounts, logins for email, and whatever it is. As soon as it starts with, I need to log in again with another account, I need to remember another password and username. Yeah, somewhen it gets difficult. It gets difficult to just log in. You forgot it, and therefore, yeah, that makes it sometimes not so easy. But also there are meantime possibilities to solve this. And all these challenges that I'm bringing up here, they are actually covered with our solution. And this brings us a little bit to my next slide, our ChronoHub solution, where it is absolutely possible to face these challenges, to solve them with a very easy web-based solution, which for sure improves the employee satisfaction, because you can, with a single sign-on, simply log in. Maybe, I guess most of the people use Windows, having their Windows user there, so that they can have a single sign-on, get in immediately, have an overview about holidays, overtime, or sick leave, whatever it is, to keep it short, simple, and user-friendly. And as mentioned, streamlining the process due to the fact that it's web-based. There are predefined processes like approval processes between employee and employer to make sure that everything is also documented and working easily. And of course, this therefore increases the benefit, the efficiency of the company in both ways, employer or employee, because you don't need to work with Excel or hassle around with some difficult calendar or so. You have a really good UI that gives you a easy insight of the solution. So I used now the first round about 8 minutes to talk more in a theoretical or general way, I should say. But of course, most important is the solution itself, seeing the UI, seeing how it works, what kind of features does it have. And therefore, I would say, with no longer hesitation, let's jump out of this PowerPoint and let's jump into the solution itself. And you see already something, but I suggest we simply go to the login screen first. So what I do here is that I'm in my Google Chrome. As you can see, there is the URL of chronohub.app. And here we come to the home screen. I mentioned multiple logins, difficult, but here I have actually the possibility to log in with a single sign-on of Microsoft. But due to demo reasons, I will do it manually, as you can see above. Because I don't use my productive user, I will use a dummy user to show around the solution. So let's get logged in, email, password, and this was even correct. So let's log in. And what you can see here is now the home screen of ChronoHub. So I will maybe start on the upper right side. So this is the team overview. I'm logged in as the user Andre, which you can see here on the upper right corner. And this is me in this calendar, the line on top. And you can see immediately here some information. The month December, where we are right now, today is the 12th of December, and I have the whole month displayed here from the very 1st until 31st. And what you can see is there are some different color codes that are giving me some information. You see here as example the 25th and the 26th of December. They are public holidays, therefore they are colored blue, which you also get explained immediately here. Then we have green color, which is here 23rd up to the 31st. This is in my scenario holidays. So I took holidays during this time, and there could be also a yellow color. That would be a pending request, so that I want to take more vacation, but it's not approved or denied yet. And you saw here in the very front, there are also gray days. Here, this means in my scenario, sick leave. But that's also something that needs to be considered from company to company or country to country. It's also possible that you can say the person is not here, the person is not available, because sick leave is a definition where some companies or countries say you are actually not allowed to give this information to other people. So I have it like this here in this scenario, but you could also make it more data protected in a way that it's just absence, no further information, at least for you as a coworker, HR as example, or manager, or super admin users. They of course can have other rights, different roles in order to get more information. So this helps me, this calendar in general, to see what do other people have. Do they have some kind of vacation as well, so that I cannot take vacation during this time? But it seems to be all right. I'm the only one. That's so far so good in my team. But maybe I just want to see my own calendar and have more information. And this, you can see, looks then like this. I switch here to the personal one. Again, I see the month. I see immediately today's day. I see the different color codes. And if I hover with the mouse above it, here I have a German speaking account. You see it's Weihnachten in German, means Christmas in English. And these are public holidays, normal holidays as mentioned. Below, you can see a bar chart which is displaying how many holidays do I have in total the whole year, 25, and how many did I take so far, 9 days, or 9 days I should not necessarily that I took, but that have been approved, amongst others those here in the future of the December. And you can see that I have here also the information about the balance, that I still have 16 days left, or in case that you are working or taking holidays, not day-wise, also in hours or half days. However, you can also see it in hours. What we can do is that we just send a request maybe to get more holidays, since I now see, hey, I have so many days left and I'm not allowed to take all of them into next year. Let's take a few more. So I click on the button send request. That brings me immediately to the request area where I can see my pending holiday requests, the approved ones, rejected ones, or maybe for some reason that I canceled it. And again, I have below the overview so that I can see easily immediately, okay, where is a potential slot to take holidays. By clicking here on create new, we take a new holiday. There are different types. Maybe you go on the workshop, so it's no holiday, but you are absence. I mentioned sick leave, but we take the classical German word Urlaub, so vacation. And this time, because we see here 23rd, I'm on holidays. Maybe I want to start a bit earlier. Let's take the 20th as well. Yeah, the 20th is good, just 1 day. Here he asked me, should he use the time from the schedule? This means my target time of 1 workday, which is 8 hours a day. I could adjust it, as you can see, and say, yeah, no, I take more hours or less, or maybe half a day, or however it is, but it's fine. I'll keep 1 day. That's good. And then I could say additional vacation. Comes to my mind, if I think I can also do it differently. Let's take 1 day more. Yeah. We could do this as well, of course, several days at once, so that we have a full range covered, not only 1 day. So let's take Thursday and Friday. So I will save this now. And you see, and this is now for demo reasons, that I get directly here a remark, or notification, I should say, and I see, hey, I got the request. That is, just for demo reasons, that I put myself as a manager to approve my own holidays. Of course, that doesn't make sense in a real world scenario, but in order that I don't have to jump back and forth with users, I do it like this to show how it looks like. So currently I have here the yellow ones, the pending ones. I can see immediately, okay, somebody wants holidays, myself. And maybe I can show you here on the left side, if I go to the menu, that there is the area of approvals. And here you can see you got new requests. And here we see is the holiday that we just entered for 2 additional days. And I can decline or approve. If I decline, I can put a remark, why do I decline? But of course, I approve. So I see it immediately here on the other side with approved. Going back to the home screen, to my personal calendar, or team calendar, actually, it doesn't matter. We will see there are now 2 more days. That's so far a bit about the holidays here. There is also the left side on the home screen where it's more about the working time. As you can see here, we are now in the current week, and so far times are entered from 9th of December until 12th. Usually, well, the last days were always strict 8 hours of work. I could see how much break did I take? Did I take some time off? If I worked too much, too less, it would be displayed here. And below you see again a bar chart that shows us 40 hours a week is what I should have. Today is Thursday, so it should be so far 32 hours within today. And we see that 32 have been already noted, 24 of proper working, let's call it like this, and 8 hours I was off. And if we check this in more detail, then we can go to the manage time and time entries. We see here this time off on the 9th. And this is a sick leave. And if I click on the attachment, maybe that was a bit quick. You see it here. There is an attachment. It shows me immediately that's the German famous yellow paper, you would say, the gelbe Schein. It's your notice that you're called sick. You hand this into your employer, and then you are called sick for however, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. So you can also attach this immediately here. And what we can do is now maybe for tomorrow already, that I add the time. You see here on the left side, I would have the possibility to use it like a stop clock. So start time, and then it's recording the time from the moment on I clicked, which would be, let's say, 20 past 4 p.m. And then there is the stop button, and then it will stop recording the time and put it as an entry of, okay, you worked 1 minute, 1 hour, 8 hours. But we do it here manually. And I put in that I was at work normally. I put it now already in for tomorrow because for today we have here some time. And what I will put in is, yeah, I only work tomorrow from 9 till 12. I go early into my weekend. I don't take any break. Yeah, I can put in a remark, but let's skip that. And as you can see, here's the attachment possibility that I showed you with the yellow paper. We skipped that as well. It's normal working time. And I can save it. Just to mention quickly, you can also do it with a range so that you say, I forgot the whole week to enter my time, but actually I worked simply my 8 hours a day. So you could enter Monday till Friday, every day were the same. I worked 8 hours and it will fill it in for you. Let's go back to the one for tomorrow, and now I will save it. And then you will see, there it is for tomorrow. And you can see that here we have a deduction of 5 hours because they are missing, or this is what I work too less. There we have the area of the efforts, but to this I would come later. Let's take first a little look more into the solution itself. So let's go here on the left side with the menu and the different modules. You saw already the time entries I showed you. There are also requests here again for vacation or different. You can also see the clocking events, what I mentioned with the start stop, so that you can see exactly, okay, when did somebody clock in, clock out. Important to mention, this is now an admin view or maybe HR role that we have, and I'm using this here for this demonstration as well to just show you everything. Then we have reporting possibilities. Let's take the December of this month. I can create an export as a CSV data, or I can just do the normal view as a report where you can see the timesheet report every day. Okay, what kind of time was it? Home office, working, vacation. I get the balance. Okay, so many hours did you work? This was time off. This was sick leave. Leads to a total amount of these hours. Vacation overview for myself, carryover, adjustments, annual allowance. So I can also see again for myself what's going on. I can also, again, if I have the permission, include other people to see it for them as well. Or I can take a look on specific departments, finance, sales, whatever. The efforts, as I mentioned, I would skip for the moment and do it in a little bit later. Approvals, I already showed you more or less. We have here the pending one, the approved ones, rejected ones, with remark fields to see everything. And now coming to the master data, that is a bit more powerful to show how this looks like. You create, of course, your users. I could go into one to show you this is how it looks like. What's the name? What's the working time or target time of the person, holiday model, when did the person start, what's the region of the person, email, then who's the manager, what department are they in, potential exit date, and what kind of role they have. I mentioned there are different ones with different possibilities and permissions what to see, manager, worker, HR, super user. In this case, I got it all. And you can simply activate people or deactivate or even delete or create a new person, and then you just put in the details that I just mentioned. You can create different departments very easily. You can create contracts. So what kind of schedule should this person have? What's the target time? What kind of holiday model? And then also define, okay, how many hours should the person work each day? If somebody works 60% and it's settled that the person is working Monday, Tuesday, Friday, then you can fill it out here, and then everything will be considered. Holiday adjustment would be important if you want to adjust in a way of somebody brings or when you're setting up actually even the solution, that somebody still has a carryover of holidays from last year, or you want to deduct or add for some reason a special day as a benefit for good work, then you can do this here. You can define the different time categories that I mentioned, like vacation, sick leave, and then also define, should it be requiring approvals, or maybe if you have like a special holiday or special vacation day. In our company's example, if you have a moving, you are allowed to have once a year a moving day, and this is considered like a special holiday, and there you can set limits, or if it's is this expiring, absences, should it be anonymized, these things. Similar, again, this target times, holiday models, and what I'm a very big fan of personally is the so-called public holiday calendar. So you have the possibility to choose country and just fetch all the holidays for a year. So yeah, to be honest, I don't know if or what country everywhere has these different holidays. But if I would be as example in Switzerland, we have the different cantone, it's like states in other countries. And if I live in Zurich, I have certain holidays that are not given maybe in other areas of Switzerland. And once fetching it, it will be displayed here. And then you see it here. And maybe I better go according to this. You see here, country name Zurich. And Zurich has some very special holidays like Knabenschießen on 9th of September. This is only in Zurich, nowhere else. And now I got this already immediately here, and I can assign a person who's working in Zurich to this region, and then the person gets these holidays additionally. So you don't have to administrate this actually completely manually and enter every holiday for a region by yourself. You just fetch it and put it in. Okay, and now coming maybe quickly back to the efforts. So what we do is that we give you the possibility to put in efforts into ChronoHub and then get this information into Business One to use the information as example to invoice something. If I show you the synchronization and the connection to SAP Business One, you see that this is the source system, and currently we are providing service calls, sales orders, projects, or business partners, and these should be synchronized into ChronoHub so that you can book on these objects. And what we will do is that we create now an effort here on the bottom, and this we do by clicking here, create new. Objects are now the one out of Business One. Here we are going to add the filter very soon so that you can really search nicely for the customer or a specific sales order or whatever you have. I have here now this object. It's a service call, ChronoHub, today's date. Yeah, of course, today's date. Let me just check, is there something with today's date? Yes, as you can see, so not that we do it wrongly. Okay, let's say I did it from 2 p.m. until 4 p.m. Internal remark could be, yeah, demo of ChronoHub. So I can see it internally and externally, presentation ChronoHub. And I can make it chargeable or not, but we make it chargeable. So 2 hours of working time. Sorry, I just see I did it wrong. This is how it's supposed to be, 2 p.m. until 4 p.m. and break. We didn't do anything. So I save it. We see it here below on the screen in a moment. Okay, some demo effect as we know it. Let's take a look. it's, oh, let's see, is it, what did it do it? And now I just had a little, let's go into another screen back. It was not showing it. Let's try one more time. Internal, let's keep it easy, external, so that we could see it later. Okay, now it worked. So we can see now here the effort that we have put in. If I go now to SAP Business One, I have here, as you can see, the SQL version. Then you see that there is on the left side the ChronoHub add-on, and here we have a document generator. And this looks actually like this for the moment, so that I can just select the worker, which was Andre. I could also select all, but we keep it simple. And I could choose the parent type, but let's skip that. I anyway don't have so much. And then I say, yeah, okay, let's do all. Find efforts. And you see here several now efforts that have been entered during the month of December, because I do the whole December. And you see here, the last one is the one we just created together. The ChronoHub webinar, you see the remark external, internal, 2 hours. And now I can create it as a draft or immediately as an invoice. Let's do it as a draft, so in case we have the possibility to adjust it. So I clicked on it to create it, and here you see now, okay, successfully created, and go to the doc entry. And then we have here the invoice as a draft for the service, 2 hours with a unit price of 46 Swiss francs. And now we could book it or add it in the system. Yeah, that's so far about the document generator. And now coming to the latest, newest feature of ChronoHub. This is something I show now in another environment. You see it now here with other users and teams. This is because it's currently still in staging mode, but it will be available very, very soon. And this is the shift definition, or the shifts in general. So companies which are working maybe night shifts or different shifts, we give now also the possibility to work like this. Here in the master data, I have now the possibility to create shifts, and it looks like this, that I could say, I want to have, let's call it then night shift. Yeah, something, I guess, that might make sense. Working during, maybe writing correctly, night. And here I can decide what kind of shift should it be. And there we make currently the difference between fixed and flexible. Fixed is you have a fixed time. Your night shift starts at 10 p.m. and goes until 6 a.m. This is how it is. There's no room for adjustment for the worker. Flexible would be, it is during a certain time. You can start, let's say, 8 p.m. until 8 a.m. You need to work 8 hours, but if you start at 8, 9, 10 p.m. or not, that's up to you. In this example, let's go first for the fixed one. And then you see immediately, okay, on what days are the shift. So this is currently also, if it's absolutely clear, you work like this from Monday till Friday, in my scenario. Frequency, weekly, or maybe just once a month, so that you can assign those shifts to the worker differently. Let's say weekly. You can also define locations if the people are working in different places. Now I just take this for the moment, and as I just said, I can define very clearly, like, okay, you start now, let's say even 22, you have a break of 1 hour, and your night shifts ends at, let's say 7 a.m. And here you see the rate multiplier, because this is of course a very important topic. Usually people who work in the night on weekends or public holidays, they get either more money. So this is the multiplier, that the hourly rate will be multiplied by 1.25, or also when it's about overtime, because people who maybe work in the night work 8 hours productively, but they get assigned on their account 9 or 10 hours because of this night shift, let's call it bonus. So I can create it like this, or I can do it in a flexible way. So as mentioned, you can start somewhere earliest at 8 p.m. ending until 8 a.m. Important is for us only that you work 8 hours. And then again, the topic of defining here the multipliers. And what's of course important, because of night shift, what defines the night? So I can go here to the time blocks, and then you can see we have here night shift 1 already, and say, okay, the night shift from our end, this is defined starting somewhere, or you work between 6 p.m. and 4 a.m. And then this will be used as a night shift. This is what it currently looks like for creating it. Then in the next step, you simply assign the shift to one of the employees. As mentioned, we have so far the fixed and the flexible. What comes as well is the rotating shift. Maybe I know from out of private life, a friend who is working 2 days morning, 2 days afternoon, 2 days night, 4 days off. And then he works again 2 days morning, 2 days afternoon, 2 days in the night, again 4 days off. So that's how we call it rotating, because you cannot say he's always working Monday, Tuesday, this shift. It's simply rolling, rotating. And this is something we will add as well very soon. Yeah. So this is already a little outlook of what comes in the next 1-2 weeks, or until the end of the year. And now, of course, the question is as well, what will come in general about the solution in the next year? What's on the roadmap? What I can say for sure is that we will add, as beside of more about the shift model, that we're gonna add as well approvals for efforts, and that we also going to add more about expenses, so to add expenses in general, and also have there an approval process. We also want to improve the document generator then as well, and continue working here in the time tracking in general. These are for sure things that we're gonna do, and also very important, we want to connect the ChronoHub solution to SAP Field Service Management. Means that efforts, work, time, material out of Field Service Management will be immediately synced into ChronoHub, and from ChronoHub then to Business One, in order to replace on long term the core suite time solution by ChronoHub. Yes, that's it for the moment. Okay, it took in the end 40 minutes of presentation time. Therefore, we are still very good in time. I go back to my presentation, and as you know, my initial slide was the demo, and now comes the last part, the Q&A. So if you have questions in the audience, you have the possibility to write them down in the chat box. I will check them in a moment. Let's take a look if we got already something. Oops, here it is. So far not. That hopefully means that everything was reasonable and made sense what I was telling you. If you have any kind of question, of course, I would say give you another minute to type or think about something. But in meantime, I can say already thank you for participating, having a look on the solution. And then, of course, already Merry Christmas. I hope you have a break during the holidays, or the holidays, the days off, public holidays, that's what I meant. And yeah, stay healthy and that you have a good time. Okay, I see no questions coming in. All of you should have my email address. So please feel free to reach out to me also individually if something comes up afterwards. I'm very happy to get in touch with you and talk about ChronoHub or any other topic. All right, then once again, thank you. Have a good time and hear and see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.